Howdy, howdy. This is Mr. Potter. In our last episode, we talked about how to construct string objects and also how to use output using this system out print line statement to print things to the screen. But there are certain characters that we have difficulty working with. For example, I can press the enter key as many times as I want, but it's really hard to trap the enter key between two quotation marks. The same thing could be said of with the tab key. Same thing could be said of with quotation marks. How do I print a quotation mark? And that's going to be the focus of today's episode. So we're going to be talking about escape characters, and these are special types of characters that allow us to deal with things that normally we can't see or normally we can't type. So I'm going to start with an empty Java file, and I'm going to call this escape.java. So this is going to be my class. So I'm going to create a public class escape, and then public static void main string args. And it's a good practice to go ahead and get in the habit of creating these classes from scratch. So what I want to talk about first is this idea of getting a new line. In other words, if I want to get a separate line of output, I could put this special character, this backslash in. So I'm going to do system.out.println, and inside the quotes, I'm going to put this is, and then backslash in, new backslash in line. And so what's happening is every time that our program hits this backslash in, says, hold up, this is a special character. So what I'm going to do is, instead of printing a backslash character and an in character, I'm going to take these two characters together and interpret them as a new line. And so it's just basically going to move to the next line. So if I run this, and by the way, it's going to be very important for me to run these in the black console window instead of the capture box that we've been using for most of our programs. So I do this by doing configure options, my JDK tools, run application, and I'm going to edit my default so that I'm no longer capturing the output. So when I run this will actually show up in a black console box. That's not good. Let's compile this. That's not good at all. Let's save this on our desktop, maybe. It helps if we have these in places that we can actually locate. So now it compiles correctly, and we should be able to run it. And notice it comes out here. Everywhere I had this backslash in, it gives me a new line. So I've got this is space backslash in. Now notice there's no space here between the backslash in and the A, and as a result, A starts flush against the left edge. Here I put a space between backslash in and the L in line, and so the space got printed after the new line character. So this allows me to get a new line of text without actually having to have several system.out.println lines. And this is important because I could actually declare a string to contain this. So I could have said string new line gets this has slash in more new slash in lines, and system.out.println new line, printing out the strings the way that we did in our previous program. And so notice I've got this statement here. This has more new lines showing up on 3 separate lines, even though I'm doing this through one system.out.println statement. So that's one of the more powerful ones that we have. The idea is that we could store inters or store new lines in a string variable and then use them as we need to later. So that's the first of our escape characters. The next escape character that I want to talk about is the tab. And normally when I hit the tab key, my cursor moves over a set amount of spaces. And for us, for Java at least, whenever we use the tab escape character, it's going to move things over 8 characters. So I can do something like this. System.out.println, and I want to print A, B, C, D, E, and I'm going to put a tab, and then F, G, H, I, J, K, and then I'm going to put a tab, and then L, M, N, and then I'm going to put a tab, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, and then I'll put a tab, and then V, W, X, Y, Z. Close the quotes, close the parentheses, and semicolon. I'm putting the slash t in certain spots, and the point that I'm trying to make here is when I run this program, these things are going to be spaced out in 8-character increments. So what I've got here, let me get to mark real quick. I've got A, B, C, D, E, space, space, space. And then I've got F, G, H, I, J, K, space, space. And then I've got L, M, N, space, 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 space. And then I've got O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, space. So each of these are being spaced over 8 characters, no matter how long the data is before or after. So the slash t allows me to line up stuff. I could line up figures. I could line up tables in my output. And that's one of the real powerful things about using the slash t. So these allow me to directly manipulate my output. Now, there are other things that allow us to do more peculiar things with the output. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about the return character. And the return character is just slightly different than the new line. If you imagine I'm dealing with an old-time typewriter, and I'm typing a whole bunch, and I'm typing a whole bunch, and then I hit the bar all the way back, I'm essentially setting all of my typing back to the beginning of the line. So system.out.println. This is the first part of the line of output slash R, and this is the second period, quote, close parentheses, semicolon. Now, what's going to be interesting here is it's going to print all of this out. So this is the first part of the line of output. And as soon as it hits the backslash R, it's going to go back to the beginning of this line and basically type over those letters. So if I run this, I'm going to see this sentence being written out, but then data basically printed on top of it. So I see, and this is the second period of the line of output. So it's covered up. This is the first part. Because this string 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 7 make 23. If I take the first 23 characters here, there's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and 22. That's 23 characters. I notice that, and this is the second covers exactly this is the first part. So what this allows me to do is to kind of go back in time. Let me bring up some of these old outputs. This allows me to go back in time on that line and print stuff out at the beginning of the line to give it the look of something being overwritten or overtyped. So we've got this ability to kind of go backwards, and I can actually use the backspace escape character to do it in a more pronounced way. System.out.println quote, and then I can go over here and say this is the third, and then I can do backslash b backslash b backslash b backslash b backslash b fourth output. And so what will happen is it will actually print this, it'll print is, it'll print the, it'll print third, and then it will backspace 5 spots. So it basically will move the cursor back to here and then print fourth from here. So if I run this, I see that this is the, and it printed the THIRD, but then it went back and overwrote those characters. So with the backslash in, with the backslash T, with the backslash R, and the backslash B, I can really control the position of the cursor quite well. Now there is another escape character in Java. It's not used as much, but it's the form feed. And this is system.out.println. This is a, and I can do backslash F, backslash F, backslash F, form feed. And what this is supposed to do, let me go ahead and get rid of this output here. Close that. What this is supposed to do is it's supposed to just basically move vertically. It has difficulty with some versions of Java, most notably the version in Windows. So it doesn't actually move this down. But if I was working in Linux, or if I was working on a Mac, I would see this is and then I would see down 3 lines, but it's not moving left or right, just moving straight down. I would see form feed. So this one doesn't work very well on Windows. So, and this is great, except because I'm using the backslash to mean certain things, the backslash itself is a special character, and I have to be careful not to put the backslash in front of any other character because it might be misconstrued. And so what happens is that we have the escape code for backslash, and it's basically backslash. So if I hit backslash, I'm telling the computer, you know, I really want an actual backslash character, not just some emulation of some other character that might be hidden in the character set, or some special character that you normally can't see, but I actually want to physically see backslash. So I would say something like system.out.println the escape code for backslash is backslash. And notice here, because I've typed two backslashes, I'm going to output one. And for each pair of these backslashes, it's going to print out two backslashes. So if I run this, you'll see this happen. And it says the escape code for backslash is backslash. So if I want to see an escape code, the backslash character, I have to do it using this special form, because backslash means so much to so many different escape sequences, or so many different escape characters. The last thing that I want to talk about with regards to these escape characters is how do I actually print out a quotation mark? Because if I try and be clever, how do I print a quotation mark? If I try and do system.out.println quote, notice that after this quote, everything is purple. In other words, everything is the color of an output string. And I don't really want that to happen. So I can't like have a pair of quotes and then try and put the quote in between, because it doesn't balance. Notice that these are still purple. So if I want to print a quotation mark, I have to put a backslash in front of it. So now this first quote and the second quote are my termination, and what's being printed is the actual quotation mark. So if I run this, notice that I've got that quotation mark, and I've got it spaced over because I put those spaces in here. So these are the situations where I would want to use escape characters. The first four of these are special formatting characters, giving me a new line, giving me tabbing over, and these are cursor manipulation areas where I can move to the beginning of a line or just move back a certain number. Form feed doesn't work that well on Windows, but it will work on your Linux. It will work on your Mac. And then, of course, we've got, if I want to actually print out characters, in other words, print out a backslash character or print out a quotation mark, I have these escape characters. So this is another technique that we have to print out some special characters, and it's used extensively in Java. It helps us to make sure that we get our output to look exactly the way we want. I can put multiple of these backslash ins in a system out print line statement if I want multiple lines of output for every system out print line. I can put multiple tabs to make sure that multiple pieces of data are aligned vertically in a table, and I can print out quotation marks if I need to print out quotation marks. Say that I'm citing a book title or a magazine article's title. I have the ability to do that. And that's really the power of this. This is the fact that in Java, I can print out virtually anything that I want to print out, and I've got a lot more control over the characters and where the cursor is at a particular time. So this gives me a lot of control over the output. So once again, this is Mr. Potter. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.